Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, continuing Tojo's route. I don't remember where we were, because it's only been like a day for you, and it's been like a week for me, because, anyway. So, probably not, but almost a week, like, because I couldn't record last Wednesday, it's Tuesday. So, yeah, no. No, I think the last time I recorded was last Tuesday for me, so, okay. Yeah, anyway. I guess we were going to the prison to visit what's his face. I can't remember his fucking name. Well, you know him, whatever. We know him. We find him amusing. Can't remember his fucking name to save my life. Anyway, I never thought I'd ever visit this place alone. Unless, did they arrest Tojo because they still think they're gonna like turn him back into a tobacco pouch or whatever? Like, I feel like there was like we went back to that again, and it's like we need to stop with this plot point now. I mean, we're at the end, so like, okay, fine, but they were like, we're gonna reincorporate him back into a thing, and we're like, no, and they're like, okay, and now they're like, well, we're gonna do it again, and we're like, no, and they're like, too fucking bad this time. So to be fair, they only did it twice, but I'm just saying. So I don't know, is he here? Because maybe he's here, and that's who we're visiting. I'm not sure. Anyway, I come to jail to visit Tojo. Okay, yeah, that answers that question for me. Chirp, chirp. That was your line, Bird. He's too busy fucking fidgeting all over me. Come on, mate. I brought you because you wanted to come along, too. But we're not here to play. Be a good girl. Do you hear that? We're not here to play, Mr. Neelix. Be a good boy. He's like, I will just bite you. Chirp! Oh, dang. Is that Spacey? What? You here to see me? Tanichibo. I'm like, I know his name starts with a T, but there's too many T names in this game right now for me to remember. Hello, Tanichibo. I'm sorry, but today, how do I put this? I'm here to see the man I'm in love with, which isn't you. I know. You're here to see the new guy. If you're looking for him, he's right over that way. Thank you very much. I mean, you can't not like this little weirdo. He's entertaining. You don't have to be in love with him to like him, you know what I mean? He's a good random side character. I headed to the cell next to Tanichibo's. Oh, is he banging his head on a wall or is he pacing? What the hell was that sound? I'm sorry, but when he's this sprite, like, you're so goddamn beautiful. Like, he's adorable normally, but this is a beautiful sprite. And there was Tojo. Oh, is that you, Spacey? Tojo greeted me with a somewhat stiff smile. Aw. Seeing him behind bars was yet another reminder of the situation he was faced with. Hello, Tojo. I didn't even need to check the color of his threads to know he was depressed. Anyone would be in his shoes. I don't know, Tanichibo seems pretty fine to be in jail. Different situations, but the jail part is not what's bothering him. And yet here he was, still smiling out of concern for me. The thought made my heart ache. Did it go okay? Yeah, they didn't even interrogate me. I've had a ton of free time on my hands. I'm so sorry. I opened my big mouth hoping I'd be of use to you, only for it to lead to this. You've helped me plenty. I'm the one who owes you an apology for dragging you into this. Technically, kind of you do, because you and Tominari came to my village, dragged me here, made me fall in love with you. Not really, you didn't make me fall in love with you, but I did. That's a consequence of your actions. And, like, now the Oniwabon are a bag of dicks, and I don't want to help them anymore, because, like, fuck them. They're going to turn the man I love into a tobacco pouch, and I'm just not about this shit. Like, fuck this crap. I'm going home. I'm going to go live in my shack in the woods, in the mountains. You know? And, like, maybe the roof will cave in on me and, like, stop my tears for once. I feel a little dramatic right now, okay? I shook my head silently. I wanted to show him non-verbally that I didn't think he was to blame. He must be unbearably anxious right now. He had no idea they'd perform the re-implementation ceremony, but at the same time, he might not be able to maintain his form for much longer anyway. Oh, he had no idea when I was like, okay, I read that wrong. Whether the ceremony or him ceasing to exist came first, there was no hope for him either way. His mind was probably a swirling vortex of worry right now. That's true. I was thinking in my head, like, Yoshimune was like, you should just figure out her emotions, like trying to be like, you guys should fall in love. And maybe there's something to it. Maybe it's like, well, if you like opened your heart and then fell in love, then you'd be fine. Power of friendship and the power of love and all that shit. Magic. But I forgot that they basically told him, well, now that you've regained your memories, you're just going to poof out of existence. You're going to cease to exist. You're basically going to die. So, I forgot about that part. Whether he realized he was doing it or not, it broke my heart to see that stiff smile on his face. I'll chat with him and brighten his mood as much as I possibly can. Tojo, it's a beautiful day. Halfway through saying it was a beautiful day outside, I panicked and bit my tongue. It was terribly insensitive of me to bring up the weather to someone who isn't allowed to go outside. Wrong topic. I'll always love you. Yeah, probably not the right thing to say either. I brought Kamame, and Kamame, fucking, spits in his face, and she's like, yeah, okay, there's not really a lot of good topics. Is something the matter? Not at all. Right. So over in the entertainment district, there's this one. I stopped myself from mentioning a tea house everyone had been talking about, then held my tongue yet again. None. I'm such an idiot. So cruel of me to tell somebody who's locked up in jail about a place he can't go to. So she's basically doing what I said. While I struggled to come up with an appropriate topic, Tojo spoke up like he just remembered something. Oh, right. How's Kamame been? He asked this time. It's not my fault. Oh, duh. She's great and has been eating rice every single day. She's here with me today. Huh? Kamame? She'd been here with me just a second ago. I looked around, only to find her a ways away with her back turned toward us. Kamame's over there. Is she so far away? It's still giving me the cold shoulder, I see. The least you could do, bird. I'm looking at my bird as I say this, but I'm talking to Kamame. It's like, be nice to the man who's gonna die. Just pretend for 5 minutes you like him. Just to make him feel better on death row, you know what I mean? I was a bit relieved to see a smile creeping onto his face compared to when I'd first gotten here. Now to talk to him about what's next, since he's feeling better, maybe I'll make him feel a little more optimistic. Tojo, do you remember the possibility Lord Yoshimune mentioned? That, if you fall in love with me, maybe you won't die? You should get on board with that. Come on, chop chop, let's go. The possibility? He said that if someone with the powers of the Hakuseki clan, I may hold the key and we might be able to overcome this together. Right, that part I forgot. I was like, but did he really be like, get on board with her emotions? And then, no, it's because I'm magic. I'm magic. So falling in love with me is magical. Anybody else, not the same thing. I'm guessing. I don't know what this entails. I don't think Lord Yoshimune would mention something completely unfounded. There must be some significance to what he said. Significance, you say? Wow. I'm not sure what exactly we can do, but we'll do the best we can together. We can't give up yet. I said eagerly. There was no doubt in my mind that Tojo would quip back, "You're right," with a smile on his face. He's not gonna. Or at least that's what I believed. I'm gonna revert to an object, so don't come here anymore. Huh? I doubted my ears for a moment. I didn't immediately understand what he just said. I began to panic as the meaning of what he just said slowly sank in. Why? That one question was all that came out. Enough. A useless vessel like me does nobody any good. I might as well go out with some dignity. But... I wasn't able to protect Lord Yoshimune. I failed to block the Blightfall's attack even though I was right there in front of him. And the kids put their faith in me too. But at this rate, their lives might very well be in danger. Not only am I going to be killed, I couldn't protect anything that mattered to me. You could protect my heart by not being such a dramatic bitch right now. You're right. You can't protect anything. Gotta be honest, this game is really motherfucking good. It's a roller coaster of emotions. Because, it's happy and fun and a little goofy, and the characters are like peppy. And then you have these moments like this where you're like, stop making me hurt so much. Tojo's not even my favorite character, and I'm like, how dare you? Again, the roller coaster of making me want to bitch slap everyone in the Oniwaban for having the audacity to like try to hurt my labradoodle over here. And then this, you're like, stop it, the angst. like, shit. Good job, game. Proud of you. Especially because I'm sure in the bad ending, I'm going to guess the bad ending, we're just going to be walking sadly around with a little tobacco pouch that used to be Tojo. You know what I mean? That would be a very fitting and good bad end. But, like, I'm sure the happy ending is we're going to fall in love and be fine. And he's going to be fine. But, you know what I mean? But still, you're like, you know, there's still that little tiny percent where you're like, but I don't know. I have trust issues. We were playing Verche in tandem with this. And that game gives you trust issues, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't trust any game that makes me feel anything anymore. After playing 2 of those, I don't know. Even though this one's drastically different, you're still like, I don't know. I don't know if I can trust a happy game to not stab me in the heart. That's not necessarily true. Don't say something so sad. Tojo seemed to be on the brink, mentally. Who knows what'll happen to you if you stick around. And you should walk away before they begin to suspect you, too. Yeah, fuck them. I could never! It's for your own good. Nothing I said would make it through Tojo's thick skull in his current state. That's why you just keep showing up. Don't listen to him. Match his thick skull with your own. They won't find any evidence of you being the culprit once I've been turned back into an object. At least I'll be useful in proving your innocence. They'll stop monitoring you when that happens, and you'll get to be an active Oniwaban member again. Being turned back into an object will be worth it. I'm gonna quit the Oniwaban if they fucking turn... I don't give a fuck about Ito or any of these motherfucking people. That's just... That's how mad I am. I don't want that at all! They capitalized all. I did not emphasize that properly. It sounded awkward, but whatever. I want you to live, Tojo. Please stop putting yourself down. You haven't done anything wrong. No, I have. It's all my fault we're in this situation in the first place. I gave them an opening, so they targeted my temple school and turned the oyster catchers into cursed objects. Probably because I'm an inferior vessel. Aw, here's his little inferiority complex sprouting to the surface again. Tojo. The threads around his neck were a self-condemning hue, just like the words coming out of his mouth. I'm going to be very frank with you. When you first told me you could see my threads, I felt a fear I'd never experienced in my entire life. As someone who's not human, I was terrified of not even being a vessel either. And that fear came true. And now that the seal on not just my memories, but also my heart's been broken, I'm completely, utterly useless. Don't you know? Oh, let me hug the labradoodle. He's so sad right now. He needs to be petted and made to feel better. It's like we just took him to the vet or something. Aww. This never would have happened if I were an upstanding, admirable vessel like Kuga. Exactly. I was like, which one? I couldn't remember. I'm like, which one of them does he have the weird, like, brotherly rivalry with? I couldn't do a damn thing in the end. Guess I'm feeling disillusioned. I don't even deserve your help. Can I ask you a favor? I don't want you to see me in this pathetic state. Could you please... No. Pull yourself together! I was so loud I even surprised myself. It was all capitalized, and the music stopped. So I had to scream it. Sorry if I deafened you. It was the game. What? Spacey? What on earth are you yammering on about? All I hear out of your mouth is self-hatred and inferiority complex this, guilt that. I've heard enough. I've had enough. I love her so fucking much right now. She is like, shut the... If I could slap you across the face, I would. Yes. Yes. Shit. Okay. Temple School was targeted solely because the children of influential daimyo were all gathered in one place. The oyster catchers were turned into cursed objects because the kids were sharing them. It was just a coincidence. Your competence has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. Don't pin every bad thing on yourself. Once I finished my spiel, I caught my breath. I'm sorry, I guess, but you're still planning to tear yourself down? You're not inferior to the other vessels, no matter what you say. In fact, you're the only reason why I've been able to work as hard as I have. I would have been much more leery if, say, Kuga and Yoichi had been the ones who came to the village to pick me up. I felt safe coming to Ito thanks to you, Tojo. R- really? Really? You're the reason why the children at the temple school liked and trusted me so much, too. Well, I mean, you're always going to take the word of a labradoodle. You know what I mean? Like, a happy, spunky little dog is like, this person is good. You're like, I believe it. I'm just saying. Come on. When you denounce yourself, you're also denouncing how they feel about you. I looked down before continuing, rather quietly. And me too. Because tell him, had fallen in love with them, although I couldn't say the rest out loud. Do you have to go potties? You're very fidgety right now and you're driving me bonkers. Hold on. Let's give the birdie a break. You're getting very fidgety and I don't trust you. I don't think you went potties before we came upstairs and then we had to wait for the stupid thing to work. Would you go potties? I don't trust you. Okay, good boy. That's what I thought. Now will you sit down and be calm for a few minutes? While we finish recording this? And they threw my controller on the floor. I just slid off my pillow. Ah, no quick data load. That was because it went flying off my pillow. Sorry, guys. Thank God we didn't load quick data. Okay, now are you gonna simmer the fuck down? You're just being very antsy. She's a very antsy bird. Anyway. Spacey, what were you about to say just now? Anyway, you don't need to compare yourself to others. For the sake of those who love you, don't debase yourself. It makes me so sad to see you do that. I thought maybe you wanted to snuggle, that's why I put my hand here. He's like, he ran the fuck away like I was gonna beat him. Don't beat the bird. We threaten to beat you. We do. We tell you I'm gonna beat the bird, but we don't beat the birdie. No, we don't. No, we don't, because you're small and delicate. We beat you with words, though, sometimes, because you get to be obnoxious, and then we yell at you and tell you, shut up. You're a big fat jerk. But no, you're a good boy right now. He's been a little feisty and kind of douchey the last couple days, but that's because you're kind of mad. You're like, you left me alone for a couple of days this weekend. I know. It was only 2 sleeps. You were alone for 2 sleeps. It's not even, it was 2 days. You're okay. You're fine. You were just sad and lonely. Did you think I died? Did you think I abandoned you? It would have taken you with us. But we was only gone for 2 days. We left on a Friday and we came back on a Sunday. That's it. And I brought the Aunt Pammy lady to come visit you. I did. He's like, I hate the Aunt Pammy. At Christmas, my sister was at my other sister's house and he kept attacking her. You were like, I don't know, at other people's houses you're mean. You were nicer this time. You were nicer to everybody this time because you're in your own house. You're like, these people are visiting my house. I'll be nice. But you're still a little bitey and mad. He's like, I am so fucking happy you're home. I thought you abandoned me and I was never going to see you again. It felt like 84 years. But he's still like, I'm still going to poop on your couch now just to be a little bit of an ass and I'm going to bite you. Because how dare you leave me? I know. Birds. Weird animals. Anyway. I could feel myself getting worked up as I said this. My eyes were beginning to water. What's so bad about being pathetic in the first place? Everyone has to have pathetic moments. We're all a little pathetic now and then. It's part of being human. I'd rather hear how you really feel, even if you're just complaining like you were earlier, than see you fake a smile. Lean on me more. Nothing's more painful for me than watching you force yourself to smile. I quickly became so worked up I couldn't hold back my tears anymore. How do you not get this, even though you're always so considerate? A single teardrop brimmed over. Once the dam broke, the tears came gushing out. You know, a nice little romantic, him brushing our tear away through the bars of the jail cell would be romantic CG. I'm just saying. Lord Yoshimune's still alive, and so are the children. It's not over yet. None of it is. Don't just give up. I said the last part while ugly crying. I didn't care how undignified I looked. Tojo was being just as undignified as I was. Yeah, here we go. Exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. Thank you, game. I'm just saying it was the perfect time for a CG like this, and here we go. Here we go. Look at his little sad eyes. Oh. Spacey, my apologies. Tojo reached out from inside his cell and gently touched my cheek. He softly wiped away the tears spilling down my face. All I ever do is make you sad. And stop making me sad. I'll be even more sad without you. Why do you insist on siding with me? Are you stupid? Don't you know that I love you? I thought you knew that I loved you. Did you forget that? What? I found myself saying something rather idiotic because the question caught me off guard. Why? Isn't it obvious? The CG left way too fast. You might be able to see the truth using your Hakuseki powers, but still, I don't understand why you'd pit the Oniwaban against yourself to support me. Oh, right. Because you're a kind person. I'm sure you'd hold out a helping. I'm sure you'd hold out a helping hand to anyone you saw struggling. I'm nothing special. Is he? Well, you know what though? I wonder if he's like, you know what I mean, like. And I froze for a moment at his cruel and exceptionally thick-headed self-absorption. He's like, why are you defending me? Why are you, like, oh, you do that for anybody. I'm not special or anything. Like, I don't really think this is being self-absorbed, though. Self-absorbed, be like, all right, because I'm special. I'm amazing. I'm the best. He is like, this is more self-derision, being like, I'm nothing special. You'd help anyone that was struggling. You'd do the same thing if it was anybody else. And it's like, but the thick-headed, it's like, yeah. But this is one of those things that, like, even if you were hopeful, well, you're like, why would you, side with me against everybody else? And you're like, it's because you're nice. You'd do this for anybody, even though inside you're like, I want to be special to you, but I can't even hope that I am because that would be crazy. You know what I mean? You wonder if in the back of his mind he's like, I want to be special to you, but like, probably not. You're just nice, right? You try to convince yourself of that, not get your hopes up, Or he's just an idiot. I mean, he is a labradoodle, so he might be kind of stupid. Who knows? And here I thought he was really good at picking up on people's emotions. He's so dense when it comes to love. Not that I'm one to talk, but still. I mean, also, he's a vessel, so how would he know? Why was he being like this when he very clearly turned me down once before? That's true. I'm like, he did know, yes. But it's one of those, at that point, he was a robot, and he was like, I cannot love you, so this does not compute. And now he's like, wait, you were in love with me, but that's probably not, nah. Because, like, now, think about it. Think about if you were completely emotionless and someone was into you. You'd be like, yeah, no. And then all of a sudden later, even though it's been like a week, now you have feelings and emotions, and you're like, I kind of, maybe that person having feelings for me wouldn't be so bad. I can't, they probably got over it. They probably got over it, I think we've all had those scenarios, you know what I mean? Where like, or you've been interested in someone, you're like, oh my God, I have like a crush, and then like 5 minutes later, you're like, actually, nah, it was a little crush for a hot second, but it's not a long-term thing, whatever. And the person's like, oh, it's because you were always in love with me. And you're like, yeah, for like 5 minutes, get over yourself. You know what I mean? Because like little crushes and your feelings sometimes will spike. You'll be like, I think I'm in love with this person. And you're like, actually, it's just, no, they're really cool, but it's not like that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because emotions and being a human are fucking weird. So like, Tojo's like, she had a thing for me, but I told her she had to stop because I was a robot at the time. And now I'm like, she probably got over it. Because he's probably thinking like that. It makes sense, because I would too. I gotta cough a lot. I feel like dust in my throat. Anyway. I needed to be clear with him one more time. Look at me, Tojo. Me, love you. You don't get it, Tojo. I want to help so badly because you are special to me. That's not clear enough, sweetie. And because I like you. Still not clear enough. Huh? This time it was Tojo freezing up. Even though I hurt your feelings. Oh, sweetie, if we stopped being in love with the people who hurt our feelings, we wouldn't like anybody. He must have been talking about when he broke my heart. Well, he clearly didn't break it enough because it's still all together. So you knew. I thought I made the right choice back then. Loving a vessel is an exercise in futility. I was pretty sure you'd stop being in love with me afterwards. Tojo's like, I'm pretty sure if I just told you to stop, you would. You're like, I mean... He seemed to be gradually realizing I'd been in love with him the entire time I'd been by his side. He looked flabbergasted, as if he'd never imagined I might still have been pining for him. Oh, that's adorable, though. It took him long enough, and it's really embarrassing, but I guess he finally knows how I feel now. Tojo was surprised at first, but then he nodded in understanding. Although a bit sad, he also seemed happy. Now that you mention it, you've always been very kind and friendly to me. Okay, well, I'm kind and friendly to everyone, but I love you. There's a difference. It's honestly pathetic I didn't realize until you told me yourself. Yeah, but, like, what are the odds that other people have fallen in love with you? You were a vessel. You were clueless about feelings, so... Fair. I understand. And now that I know how you feel, I probably feel warm and fuzzy inside because I'm fond of you, too. This is so cute. He's like, I think I might like you, too, but I'm not quite sure what this feeling is. My insides are on fire? It's either love or heartburn, sweetie. I didn't expect him to say he was fond of me, since he'd already turned me down once before. But again, he didn't know what emotions were then. Well, I know what they are, but I don't have them to process them, so. You stuck by me through thick and thin, and at some point I fell in love with you too. What a cruel twist of fate, only realizing this as I'm about to die. Well, I guess I'm still blessed to have briefly shared a connection with you. Oh, I mean, if I could get you out of here, we could share a connection. I meant kissing. And other things, but, like, we could at least kiss him through the bars. I have a favor to ask of you, Spacey. Could you at least hold my hand? I flashed him an unparalleled smile. No, thank you. What? Tojo let out an idiotic noise I'd never heard out of him before. He probably hadn't expected that to happen, the way our conversation was going. I continued to smile, torn between feelings of emptiness and relief. You said earlier it was completely impossible for vessels to be in relationships. Oh, right. I did. You said they meant nothing to you. I did. I gave up altogether after that. I actually did like him, and I sometimes still felt self-conscious around him as a member of the opposite sex. But now I only thought of him as a friend. Or I made an effort to, at least. Hearing him suggest I still had a chance was making me waver. What the fuck just happened? She's been trying. I mean, she's like, I only see you as a friend. No, you fucking don't. Stop lying. Stop trying to gaslight all of us. I know she was like, I want to help him as a friend, blah, blah, blah. But then she was seriously like yelling at me, like, that's not, no, you were still in love with him, girl. I'm going to need you to snap out of this fucking delusion. This is like, and now hearing him say, I'm like, I get the maybe. I feel like they just presented this a little wrong. You know what I mean? Because, like, I get I'm trying to think of him only as a friend and trying to, stop feeling things for him. But, and, like, now I'm wavering, like, ah, shit. But, like, you didn't just get over your feelings for him, because that just kind of negates the whole... I mean, okay. In a longer, more drawn out, like, oh my God, like I met this guy and I've always had feelings for him. And then I've got to get past it. And then later on you realize you still had feelings type of a thing when it's a longer, kind of more drawn out. But it was more like, I have feelings for him. You can't have feelings for him. And then all of a sudden you've been pining. And now you're like, I got over it. But like maybe. And it's like, no, but what? And it could be because there was a big gap between playing the other parts and like now, but I'm like, I don't remember you ever getting the fuck over him and starting to play this part, I certainly did not feel like you were getting the fuck over him. You were still pining over him a little, and like maybe you were trying, but you weren't succeeding well. And now you're acting like you fully fucking succeeded, and I'm gonna call bullshit on that. So, no thank you, game. I don't believe it. I need to show some backbone. No, you don't. Accepting Tojo's feelings for me would make me a total doormat. No, you don't. Oh. Okay. I huffed, still feeling torn. I don't. Okay. We'll see where this goes, but I'm not sure I like the, like, well, now he likes me, so I'm gonna fuck with him a little, and I'm gonna, like, no, let's not play games with the man. Okay? Like, especially after you just berated him and yelled at him and told him to suck it up, Buttercup, and stop feeling sorry for yourself, god damn it. Rightfully so, and now you're like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, after you just told him you were in love with him, and now you're like, you're good? I have to take points off for her for that, because, like, I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I, I don't love it. I don't love it. Do you realize it was a struggle for me to stand by your side? No, oh, sorry. It doesn't matter to me if you never return my feelings. I wanted to be there for you anyway. I already decided to forget I was ever in love with you. It's far too late for that now, Tojo. Plus, aren't you planning to die and leave me all alone? Loving someone who's about to die. Now that's what you call an exercise in futility. Okay. All right. I can see if you're like, yeah, no, because you're going to give up. So, like, what's the point? To get him to fight? Okay. I understand if you're going to reverse psychology him a little bit here. But, like, I feel like the way they kind of presented before they got here was a little awkward. And it was like, what? Okay. After giving him a piece of my mind, Tojo stood there rooted to the spot for what I assumed were purely psychological reasons. Right. Speak up. Yeah, you're right. I did say it was impossible for vessels to be in relationships. I wasn't quite sure what Tojo was thinking, but he seemed pretty flustered, recalling what happened back then. One glance at his thread showed he truly was frustrated and ashamed of his actions, and that his feelings for me were genuine. Damn. I wish I could give my past self a smack. Your past self is a bit of a robot, though, so fair. If that's how you feel, then make me fall in love with you all over again. Okay, now we're fucking with him a little. All right. Okay, so maybe I don't hate it. I didn't hate it before, but I was a little confused. It's like, so you're gonna just pretend you were never in love with him? You didn't get over him, though. That's the only thing. It's like, I kind of got over it. It's like, but you didn't. But I get the, well, you said it was stupid to fall in love. You're gonna let yourself die, so, like, if you're not gonna fight, why am I gonna waste my time falling in love with you? I get that, because that's like being like, suck it up and fight, bitch. Good. Okay. I get that. So I'm here for that. And then, like, even this, then you're gonna have to make me fall in love with you all over again. So she's messing with him a little bit, but fair enough. Fair enough. It was just kind of like the way they kind of transitioned into it was a little, like, awkward. And, like, I felt like she was trying to gaslight us into believing that she stopped having feelings for him. And I'm like, that's bullshit. You never stopped feeling for him. Like, you made me fall in love, then give up on you once before. Now it's your turn, Tojo. You mean I still have a shot? Survive first, then we can worry about that after we've solved this case. I don't want to be in love with someone who plans to die. You got me there. Live, Tojo. Do that, and maybe one day I'll return your feelings. She's like, I want to shower you with them now, but I'm going to hold back. Fine. I provoked him on purpose. It was like I actually knew a thing or two about love. Tojo was taken aback, but immediately nodded in agreement. All right, I will. And then I'll make you fall for me. You can count on it. See, we got our Labradoodle back. He's not sad anymore. We looked looked into each other's eyes, then both smiled rather tenderly for the first time in a long while. I had a feeling we'd forgotten something, though. Oh, then I remembered. We'd been carrying on as usual, but we weren't the only ones in the parlor cell right now. I was like, Tanichibo's over there like, ooh. Bzzz. I turned around in a panic and saw that Tanichibo had his face pressed up against the bar, staring at us. Chirp! Komame's sitting on him. Kamame was also huddled up next to him, staring intently at us. He was watching us, and he heard us. I said some pretty bold stuff, too. The thought of someone hearing everything we just said suddenly made me embarrassed. Valid. Man, I had no idea you were into men like him. No wonder I couldn't woo you. Yeah, I like him kind of robotic. That's enough of that. I said rather unconvincingly as I hurried to retrieve Kamame. Afterwards, we continued discussing our next steps. First, we talked about Tojo's situation. Lord Yoshimune said that together we might be able to overcome this difficult situation, and that I should stay by your side. And that must mean we should stick together as long as possible. That'll be difficult with me in jail. I'll just have to come see you as much as I can, then. That and report back to you anytime something happens. Great, thank you. Then we discussed the Blightfall. There were black threads leading up to the ceiling when Lord Yoshimune was attacked, right? There were. I let the Oniwaban know, but their search didn't turn up anything. I don't think I was mistaken, though. I was thinking of checking it out for myself. For yourself? My eyes might find something that the Oniwaban overlooked. Don't. Just give it a rest. It's much too dangerous. But you do have the powers of the Hakaseki clan, but you're completely incapable of fighting. You'd get killed almost immediately if you ran into the enemy. Yeah, but Tominari's following me. He's right there in the corner pretending to be a lamp. So I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not pretending to be a lamp. I am a lamp. I've completely adopted being a lamp. You know what I mean? Like seriously, that candlestick right there in the background, one of those is Tominari, you know it. What can I do then? I can't help you or protect Ito or anything. That might be, but I can't expose you to danger. Too late. Then protect her. Don't you have a crush on her? Tanichibo jumped into our conversation from the neighboring cell. He's so bored he's got nothing better to do. His sudden, tone-deaf remark caught us both by surprise. I'm in jail? I'd protect Spacey myself if I could. Then I'll let you out of jail. I was just thinking of leaving myself. What? Watch this. Tanichibo proudly pulled a bundle of keys out of his kimono. Where the fuck did you steal all those keys? Wait, are those? They're the keys to the jail. The guards are real lax, maybe because they only keep the cream of the crop here in the parlor cells. Nabbing them was a cinch. The fact that somebody is wandering around looking for, like, not just one key, a fuck ton of keys. Opportunities like this don't come around often, so I've been looking for a chance to bust out of here. Hear me out. Help me break out of jail, get revenge on the kidnapping god, then show the shogunate that locked me up who's boss. Tojo's eyes widened in amazement at Tanichibo's plea before letting out a shocked, almost sarcastic laugh. It's so funny because, like, it's not like you were locked up because you were just walking by being normal. Like, you tried to overthrow the government, bro. That's why you're here. Like, you kind of deserve to be here. And at least they gave you a nice prison cell. Stealing keys isn't something I praise you for, but just this once I applaud your skills. You're amazing, Tanichibo. There's one big flaw with your plan. Flaw? Isn't Spacey being tailed? Oh. He was right. I was so excited I'd completely forgotten Tominari was tailing me. He would have heard everything we just talked about. Again, he's standing right behind you, looking like one of those candles. It was all for nothing. My shoulders slumped after watching my hopes get dashed almost instantly. You don't really need to run away. See? I told you, and now he just took off his lamp disguise. But that. Huh? I saw that Tominari had appeared at some point and was standing there with us, and a candle is mysteriously missing. As surprised as I was to see Tominari when he was supposed to be watching me from the shadows, I was even more surprised by what he'd just said. Tominari, wait, what do you mean we don't need to run away? And do you mean you're confident we'll be caught the second we try to break out of jail, so go ahead and try? Tominari shook his head no. Tojo and I looked at each other. It sounded like Tominari was going to look the other way while we broke out of jail.
I honestly don't care about Kunitaka. If anything, I still don't trust him. But I don't believe for a second that you, Spacey, are being controlled by a Blightful. I don't have a logical explanation for why I feel that way. I just firmly believe my gut instincts on this.
Tominari...
The Oniwaban are currently at a standstill in their investigation too. Taking a gamble on you and your unique powers is another option we could try. The Oniwaban can't take that risk because they don't believe you. But I do, so I'll help you out.
Thank you, Tominari. That's incredibly reassuring.
I also worry about leaving this entirely in your hands when Kunitaka can't use the snow sacrament.
So you noticed?
How can I not? Something was clearly wrong when we were fighting inside the castle earlier.
I see. Here I thought you were looking out for your old teammate, but it's really Spacey you trust.
Obviously. I'm just putting my faith in her based on gut instinct. You have a problem with that?
Nah, actually that's exactly why I know I can trust you. Then Tojo and Tanichibo broke out of jail while Tominari and I watched. It's not really breaking out if you have the keys. It's not really breaking and entering if you're just entering.
Like, is it?
I mean, loopholes. I mean, I guess I suppose it still is breaking out when you stole the keys. After Tojo escaped from jail, we wasted no time sneaking into Chiyoda Castle with Tominari's help. Tanichibo hated sneaking around, so he told us he'd find some place to hide and left. That meant it was just Tominari, Tojo, and I sneaking in. And Kamame. Tominari found out when the guards changed from the Oniwaban, allowing us to easily make our way to the audience chamber where Lord Yoshimune had been attacked. His blood was still on the tatami mats in the room. It was hard to look at. You think someone could have cleaned that shit up? That's a biohazard. Good God. It's just as we left it.
We've preserved the scene since we weren't sure where clues might be found.
Makes sense. Well, let's do a quick investigation of our own. Spacey, do you remember where the black threads came from? Yeah, they were right over there. I pointed to a corner of the ceiling while jogging my memory of the event. All right, let's check it out right away. Working together, Tojo and Tominari began looking around above the ceiling. There are a fuck ton of footprints up here. Nobody noticed that? No, I'm just kidding. But, and perhaps this was to be expected, their search didn't turn up anything. And the only thing I saw up there was a layer of dust. If anyone had been sneaking around, they definitely would have left prints. But, Tominari, you got some dust on your head.
Oh, you got some on your shoulder, Kunitaka.
They'd come up empty-handed and were covered in dust to boot. I felt a little guilty. I know what I saw. I definitely saw black threads back then. But but you know what I mean? They could have gone, but it doesn't mean the person was in the ceiling, because the ceilings are all connected. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could have been in the ceiling tile, but in the hallway. So they went through the ceiling to kind of, so that you wouldn't know where they were coming from. Anyway. Did I read I know what I saw? I definitely saw black threads back then. Whatever. I did now. I stared in the direction where I'd seen the black threads coming from and thought to myself, it was safe to say no one had been above the ceiling. But was it completely out of the question that someone might have been even farther up? What about on the roof? Oh, well, okay. The little I'd said garnered a reaction from both Tominari and Tojo. The roof? I see. We were convinced the summoner had to be inside because the Blightfall spawned in the chamber. We completely overlooked the roof.
I'll go check it out then.
With that, Tominari immediately left to check the roof. He returned a short while later. Welcome back. Did you find anything?
Your insight was spot on,
He said before handing a small box to Tojo. A box? Was this up on the roof?
Oh yeah, I was placed in a relatively secure spot on the roof. I also found a single set of footprints up there. That's clear someone was there and left this box behind.
Should we check what's inside the box? We might find a clue about whoever's behind this. What if smoke billows out and you're turned into an old man? Like Urashima Taro in that fairy tale. Okay, Urashima Taro in that fairy tale. I don't think that'll happen. Oh, that was Tominari.
I don't think that'll happen.
Stand back just in case, Spacey. It might not be smoke, but who knows what's inside? Sure. Don't open Pandora's box. Once they made sure I'd stepped back like I'd been told, Tojo carefully opened the lid to the small box. Are those... It didn't seem like there was any danger. I got closer and peered inside the small box, which contained a doll made out of straw and an oyster catcher. The oyster catcher's swimming with black threads. The straw doll is just as many. Ooh, my god, that's a lot of... Okay. And that's a type of bewitched object for the Ushi no Toki... Mairi ritual? Anyway. Part of the person being cursed is put inside to create a stand-in for them. That's what I was wondering. Is it like a voodoo doll? So kind of yes. Bewitched object. A charmed object used to curse someone. You mean there's something inside the effigy? Let's have a look. He slowly opened up the straw, revealing 5 blood-stained fingernails inside. Ow! Oh, did you rip someone's fingernails off? Oh, I'm gonna black out. We went back to Tojo's house for the time being, where we discussed the small box we'd found on the roof of the castle. Inside the box was the straw effigy from before, as well as the 5 fingernails we found inside it. I'm gonna vomit. Chirp! She looks terrified. Komame must have instinctively realized there was something sinister about them, because she was hiding behind me, seemingly terrified. What on earth could this mean? I said this while looking off to the side, since I found it hard to look directly at the fingernails. Stop talking about them! I'm gonna fall apart. I'm literally gonna fall over and vomit. Like, ah! We found out where those black threads came from, meaning it is, without question, the cursed object that summoned the Blightfall that attacked Lord Yoshimune. Doesn't that seem a little too convenient? You have to actually hold the cursed object and say an incantation to summon a Blightfall. Our current understanding was that after summoning a Blightfall from the castle roof, someone intentionally placed the straw effigy in the small box and left. With his effigy, I suspect the summoner didn't even need to be there. I wasn't sure what he meant, but Tominari was nodding along, seemingly convinced.
Do you mean the effigy served as the hand holding the oyster catcher?
Exactly. Huh? But was the effigy able to say the incantation needed to summon the Blightfall? Tojo furrowed his brow at my question, like it was difficult for him to answer. The effigy served as the hand for the purposes of the curse. It allows whoever the 5 fingernails came from to summon a Blightfall from far away using the effigy. In other words, the kidnapped children are saying the incantation elsewhere. When he said this, I finally remembered something. The right arm of the child we saved earlier was almost necrotic, and all of his fingernails had been ripped off. The kid we took into our custody at the warehouse had all of his fingernails ripped off. Was he being forced to summon a Blightfall using an effigy too? Well, who can say? At the very least, it's clear that the summoner was headed to the scene.
Whoever escaped through the wall and was inside the city warehouse must have been the summoner. The child in the warehouse was a little ways away from the oyster catcher, but that might have just been a coincidence.
Oh, right. Why didn't they use an effigy? All of his fingernails had been ripped off. Simply put, the summoner probably had no choice but to be there because the enchantment was still unstable. It's definitely a very sophisticated curse.
It's hard to say for sure.
But it must be stable now, considering what happened to Lord Yoshimune. I bet all the other kidnapped children are suffering through the same thing as we speak. Considering they were able to summon a Blightfall at just the right moment, they must be with the mastermind behind all this, the kidnapping god.
I guess the only way to crack this case will be to pinpoint the kid's location.
I see Kyoshiro's hawk in the garden. The hawk was perched on a tree branch in the garden, observing us with its penetrating gaze. Don't you talk and don't you spill the beans on me, bird! I guess they realized Tanichibo and I escaped.
There's a letter tied to his leg.
Tomonari removed the letter from the hawk, then read its contents. I mean, to be fair, being at Tojo's house after escaping jail is probably not the best place to be.
I also found out that I went against orders.
Ooh,
I've instructed the entire Oniwabun to get rid of Kunitaka and I as soon as they capture us. The letter says to turn ourselves in with dignity. This seems to be a final warning for us.
I figured this would happen sooner or later. I'm sorry, Tomonari. Cooperating with us got you in trouble, too. I mean, again, you're gonna kill my boyfriend, our friend, and you think I'm gonna help you after that? Because my answer is go fuck yourselves. Peace out. I'm walking back home.
That was my decision to help you, so I have no regrets. Anyway, what do I do with the hawk? Chase it away?
No, wait. We should share all the information we've gathered so far with the Oniwabon. There's a strong possibility that there are multiple boxes containing effigies around Chiyoda Castle. Let's have the Oniwabon take care of those.
Oh, they have more people around to help. Do you think they'll take whatever information we give them at face value, though?
They'll at least try to confirm what we tell them. Same difference in the end either way if they find any. Tojo whipped out a writing brush and quickly drafted up a letter summing up the matter. After tying the letter to the hawk's leg, it immediately took off like it understood its duty. Because it's smart. Bye, bird. Kamame? Kamame stared keenly at the hawk as it flew away. Maybe Kamame wishes she could fly like that too. She knows some. I hope you'll be able to fly someday. No rush. I feel like I can't believe we're going to say that our choice is to a bird. And my bird's like, excuse me. I know, but it's not, with the game, we're not romancing the bird. We're romancing the man who used to be a tobacco pouch. Bird's like, why are you talking to me? Anyway, I feel like I hope you'll be able to fly someday. That's nicer for Komame. Oh. Save file too. Okay, never mind. Save. Boop. Boop. And the right answer is I only have one hand. Oh, it's no rush. Okay, wow. No rush. Well, okay, I mean, I get that. Like, no rush. You'll be able to do it someday, but. Oh, okay. So maybe no rush is more like you're no rush. You'll be able to do it versus I hope someday you'll be able to do it. That's points for Komame. No rush. Chirp. I felt like comforting Komame when I saw her staring sadly at the hawk. Komame, you are who you are. No need to compare yourself to others and make yourself impatient. There was no way Komame understood what I was saying, but she listened obediently like she did. I softly stroked her tiny little body with my fingertip. Don't do that. Pet birds only on head. No petting birds on body. Who knows? You might be able to fly one day when you least expect it. No need to feel so self-conscious about it. Chirp, chirp! Hearing Komame chirp with relief brought a smile to my face. All right then, we should get going. Where are we going? First, let's look for the children in Samurai Town while searching for boxes like the one we found earlier. And they already know we're here. The Oniwabon will come running any minute, so we need to leave on the double. Tomonari, let's split up from here on out. We'll be easy to spot if we're all together. Meet up with Tanichibo. He might come in handy.
Kunitaka, are you going with her? I'm against this. You can't protect her in a pinch since you can't use the snow sacrament.
I can still hold my own against Blightfall. If anything happens, I'll protect her.
I can't leave her with you. She's coming with me.
Tominari, I said his name to interrupt him. Thank you for worrying about me, but I'm going to go with Tojo.
You might be in danger.
I know, but I've made up my mind. After staring me down to make sure this was what I really wanted, he quietly nodded in understanding. We are a little under time. However, we know how most of these parts, this could be 2 minutes or it could be 20. So I'm going to stop here just because I'm recording at lunch, so I don't have like an hour and 20 minutes. I don't have an extra, like maybe like if it went like a few minutes over, that'd be fine. But like, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.